Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Star Wars Black Series Walmart exclusive Revenge of the Sith 20th Anniversary line Tactical Ops Trooper. That's a mouthful, I know, but I kind of had to get that all in there. And that is the name of this, aka, it's a 501st Clone Trooper. Why is he called the Tactical Ops Clone Trooper? I'm guessing the original toy was called the Tactical Ops Trooper. Ops Trooper. But I'm pretty sure the 501st is name-dropped in Revenge of the Sith, so what the... Again, there was a lot of things that were cut out of the movie, so maybe, but, you know, he comes in the packaging, which is reminiscent of the original 2005 toy line for Revenge of the Sith, which, very nice. I didn't treat this box as nicely as my Dooku box, which is also in the garbage now. This is where this one's going after this review. And you get that whole blurb. It's just celebrate 20th anniversary Star Wars Revenge of the Sith figures with these guys, which it's nice to see the packaging, I will say. I don't have as much nostalgia for it because when Revenge of the Sith came out, I was 3 years old. So all of my Star Wars toy nostalgia comes from the Clone Wars packaging, like the one that came with the ARC Trooper Echo. I have a lot of nostalgia on that one, and then the kind of blue-carded ones that came out later on. I believe that was, what, either 2009 or 2010, because the Lego sets also had the same branding. God, that was a time for Lego Star Wars and just Star Wars in general. That was such a good time. But here we are with another good time of the 501st Clone, who is the 3.0 Clone Trooper. This guy, who's from the 2-pack Battle Droid. I gotta get another one of those. I really want another one. And yeah, I mean, it's the same guy. We've already taken a look at this guy before, really. I think we might have done it multiple times, but I don't fully remember. I don't think I actually did review the 2-pack of the Ahsoka Trooper and the, Phase 1 501st. I don't think I did that, did I? But the, Clone Trooper here is the same as this guy, and yeah, I mean, I like this figure a lot. I really do. He's probably my favorite one of the clones thus far. We're getting a 3.5 technically coming up here with Lieutenant Gale, who has a different helmet, because these are apparently closer to the Clone Wars ones or something. I don't know what it was that's wrong with them. I don't see an issue. But the main thing with this guy is obviously 501st color scheme. Lots of nice blue paint on the figure. The shoulders are all banged up. The chest is all banged up. The knee's got a bit of scuffage going on. He does have the little stripes down the side, which I always do like with the 501st clones. It is one of my favorite things, how decorated they look. Like, they actually have paint. Some of the other Legions just, you know, they got, like, arm stripes or something. I like their whole chest decal thing as well, which you can't really see too well right now. The little back thing here is painted blue, and there's a bit of blue on the thermal detonator holder as well. And the helmet is also painted blue, but there's a kind of issue with mine. I don't know if it's an outright issue. It's a bit lighter than the rest of the blue. Down here is fine, but the upper part of the helmet is a lighter blue opposed to the rest of the figure, which is a little odd. It's not really anything too crazy. But, you know, it's there. He has all the typical details, like the little communicator on the arm. The belt looks pretty solid. I mean, there's not really much to say here that I haven't already with this guy. It's a good-looking figure. He has this rubbery chest piece, which is a little annoying on this copy, but that's fine. He, of course, has a removable helmet, which I say of course, but a lot of them don't have removable helmets sometimes. He just has your generic Tamora Morrison head under there, which is nice. Now, I kind of skimmed right over the Commander Appo analogy here. So this guy isn't technically the first 501st clone we've gotten in a bit. I don't know if Commander Appo was 2.0 or if he was 3.0 like this guy. But there was a Target exclusive figure called Commander Appo, who wasn't Commander Appo. He was a generic 501st trooper. Commander Appo has an arrow on the helmet, which that figure didn't have. So that guy kind of got army built in the masses. They then released another exclusive 501st Trooper to army build, which, fun stuff. Why do they always do this stuff for exclusives? It's really annoying. But, you know, getting this guy at last, because I know it's been a while. These guys have been out for months, so why do I just have it now? The answer to that is my local Walmarts don't stock Black Series, like, at all. They had that newer Acolyte wave. I've seen 2 of the figures from it, but that was it. To get Black Series where I live, I literally have to either go through Amazon or order through CMD Store or Toy Snowman. That's where I always go to get them, because there's literally no way to get them. Or I go to my local flea market, which I don't really have a chance to anymore because I work Sundays, which sucks. I don't have a chance to even go there anymore. But what are you gonna do? This guy's just solid. He has 2 accessories, which are seeing 1, which is the DC-15 blaster. Am I wrong? Is it 15-17? I am forgetting. Once more, I forgot to look it up again. And, of course, the same with the rifle. So, DC-15-17 rifle. That's good. I mean, we've seen this many times before. Quite literally, just moments ago with this guy. Like, lots of these around. They're pretty common piece. I mean, a lot of these guns are. I do like it when clones do come with 2 guns, though, so you can just give them to another one. Like in the case of this figure, where he's probably going to end up keeping this one, and I'm going to give that to this Rex. Because I want my Rex to have another gun that isn't just, you know, his pistols. That's just me, though. That is me. I feel like I like Rex with the smaller guns more than the larger guns. So it's nice that you can, you know, at least have extra weapons to give your clones. It's always been something I appreciate that they do with it. Especially if it gets some loose, like the comparison here. 1.0, 5.0 First Trooper. Yikes, what a difference. Yikes, man. This guy stinks in comparison to this new one, in my opinion. There's so much wrong here, and it's just the proportions. This thing looks old. They look like 2 different lines. Like, they're both Black Series, but they look like 2 different entities. Like, this looks like it was released in the mid-2000s to me, where this one's like, oh yeah, that's 2020. Right there. This guy was released, I don't even think, 10 years before this guy. That's a little spooky. The molding is still alright, and I mean, the paint apps on this old one are actually pretty solid, even though they're very digitally put on. I don't think I've ever really showed. It's not going to focus, is it? But you can kind of see, like, how digital these, like, splotch marks are. But the proportions on this old dude suck, if I'm being honest. Like, the legs are way too thin, the arms are way too big, the lower body is way too small, while the chest piece up top is actually about the same, so that's a little scary. Shoulder pads, I find, are way too big, and the helmet's way too small, because it doesn't really give the illusion that there'd be a human head under there. I much prefer this kind of larger helmet, because, yeah, it looks like there's something under there. And with the power of perspective, they can look kind of the same height. They really aren't, though. It's kind of close, but the peak on the helmet just goes a little too high on that guy. But, yeah, I mean, quite frankly, not great. Much needed upgrade for me, if I'm being honest. I'm still going to keep him, obviously. I don't mind having 2 5.0 First Troopers. Who does? They're army building type figures. But that is him. That is the 5.0 First Trooper. Didn't go over his articulation. Let's just do it here. Speed run. Ball jointed head, forward, back, outward, bicep swivel, elbow joint goes a little above 90, swivel at the hand, up and down, rotation at the waist along with ab crunch, forward kick, back kick, out kick, knee joint goes a little above 90 again, tilt at the ankles, and of course, forward and back. So, that is it. That is all you get from him, and that is him. Let's just get to the final thoughts here on the 5.0 First Clone Trooper. He's cool. I mean, I don't hate anything about this guy. Again, he's a perfectly fine figure. There's no issues to be had here, in my opinion. He's just, you know, a clone trooper, which, as much as I love clones, I don't really get sick of owning the same guys over and over again. You know, a lot of my figures I own from Black Series are clones, so you can kind of see where I'm like, you know, maybe I'm a little sick of them, but not really. because there's 3 different variations of them, so there's a lot of molds to go through. Especially if I go after any older commanders, like Agree, they're going to be semi-similar to the Rex here, or the other clone I brought in. The other 501st clone that I'm just going to bring in here. And I didn't have a 2.0 clone to compare. I do have Jesse, who's kind of there. Like, he has the glued-on shoulders, which I hate, but proportionally speaking, the 2.0 is fine. It was just those small little nitpicks that had to be fixed. The 501st clone here, the TAC Ops clone, whatever you want to call him, is a perfectly good addition to anyone's collection, especially if you collect clones, especially if you want more 501st troopers. Again, I hate that he's a Walmart exclusive, and that's it. Like, genuinely, if you could find this guy, he's a get, especially if you like clones. He's a great figure to have, and there's not much more to say. That's really it. He's a 4 out of 5. That has been my review of the Star Wars Black Series TAC Ops Trooper. This has been Eilt Elite signing out.